I want to move on then to the temperature,
Mm.
because I think this isn't something that people think too much about,
To the temperature at which they're
at
processed.
which they're processed.
Yes.
Exactly right. And doing some research on this, the one thing that stood out to me is you can see the same type of milk on the shelves in a normal grocery store aisle as you will in the refrigerated section. And the initial thought is, why isn't that milk refrigerated? I think it
Mm.
has to do with the temperature at which it's pasteurized. That plays the role. So
Yes.
what does this even mean? Low temperature versus ultra pasteurized? Talk to me.
Yeah, so there's basically three different types of pasteurization. We have low temp pasteurization, which is not common, unfortunately. I wish it was more common. Pasteurized, which is the full term for something that's pasteurized, is high temperature short term pasteurization.
Okay.
And then we have ultra pasteurized. So low temp pasteurized is slowly heated to 145 degrees for about 30 minutes. So it's heated to
Okay.
lower temperatures for a longer period of time.
Okay.
High temperature short term pasteurization is heated to a minimum of 161 degrees for at least 15 seconds. So a little bit higher, but for a shorter amount of time.
Okay.
And then we have ultra pasteurized, which is heated to 280 degrees Fahrenheit or even more for a minimum of 2 seconds. So really high temperatures for a very short time.
Okay.
And the main reason, I'll get back to short-term pasteurized, but the main reason that we ultra pasteurize things nowadays is to extend the shelf life. When we ultra pasteurized something, and not only does this go for milk, but it goes for other products as well, like juice,
Yep.
things like that. It can extend the shelf life to 6 to 9 months, which is a crazy amount of
Jeez.
time.
Yeah. For milk? Yeah.
Yeah. And then also a note on this is kind of like you were talking about. If something's ultra pasteurized, it doesn't need to be refrigerated.
Yep.
So
That's the ones you're seeing on the grocery store aisle shelves, not
yes,
in the fridges, obviously.
exactly.
Okay. And so those different categories. First of all, can I find that on the label
Yes.
on the milk? Okay.
Yes.
It says it.
It should say it right on the front.
Okay.
Mhm.
Whether or not, and then
You'll see, like I mentioned, you'll see the two common ones are
Yeah.
it's either going to say pasteurized or ultra pasteurized.
okay.
Yeah.
And so what are we looking for? What do we want out of ours?
Ideally, well, ideally, I'd say raw. We're going to get into raw milk,
Okay.
the raw milk debate in a minute here. But
Okay.
in terms of what most people have available at their grocery stores, I recommend going for low temperature pasteurized. Now, this unfortunately is not very common. It is becoming more common,
Hmm.
which I like to see. But low temperature pasteurized, it destroys a lot of the unwanted pathogens, but it keeps a lot of the beneficial bacteria and enzymes and
Mm.
different things that our bodies need that is destroyed when it's pasteurized or ultra pasteurized.
Okay.
Plus, in my opinion, it just tastes better.
Yeah.
Has more taste. So while the low temperature pasteurized heating does kill some of the beneficial enzymes, it keeps a lot of them, but it does kill some of them. It doesn't damage the proteins in the milk
Hmm.
and leaves intact, like I said, some of the good bacteria.
Okay. So as those, if we're going back to the beginning, the cows are eating that grass. They're digesting the vitamins and minerals
Yes.
through the grass into their bodies, ultimately flows through the milk. But if you're just baking the milk at this extremely high temperature, you're losing a lot of the benefits that you gained in the beginning of the process.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're basically killing it because
Yeah.
it's heated to, so high temperatures.
Okay. So we're going to look for that low temp pasteurized